Hi everyone, my name is Audrey and welcome to my channel. Today I'm giving you my mid-year freakout tag. It's already at the half of the year. It's always a weird time for me because it's the end of the school year and it's usually a time where I'm just so exhausted. I'm usually not the best reader in May and June because they're pretty chaotic months, but I do like to pause and stop for a moment and just look at what I've read so far during the year, what happened, and like, why did I read that much or not enough, and like try to analyze that and make a plan for the rest of the year. So I do enjoy that. I just went on Google to find the actual questions, so maybe some questions might not be the same for everyone in every video, but here are mine. So here are all the books that I've read so far this year, plus 6 more books that were on my reader. So I don't have them in a physical form, but here you go. Question number 1, what is the best book you've read so far in 2024? So how I rate my books, I rate from 1 star to 5 stars. And when I really enjoy a book, like more than other 5 stars, I give it a 6 stars. And so far this year, I've read out of 15 books, I've rated 2 books 6 star, which is amazing. I gave 2 other books 5 stars and 1 book 4.5. I'll just do a top 5. So here we go with a 4.5 rating. We've got number 5, Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. I really enjoyed that second installment better than the first one. It wasn't just quite there for 5 stars, but I really loved it nonetheless. In 4th place, we've got The Girl from the Other Side, volume number 2, which is one of my favorite mangas ever. And I prefer this manga to Death Note, so that says a lot. The writing, the concept, the drawings, just love them so much. This is a volume number 2, and it is 5 stars. In 3rd place, we've got There by Tommy Orange. This was such a big surprise. I'm gonna come back to that a little bit later in the video, but I put this one in 3rd place because I was not expecting what I read here, and I was very pleasantly surprised. 2nd place, we've got The Girl from the Other Side, volume number 3. I loved this 3rd installment so much. Like, I loved the other 2 volumes, but this one was a notch higher because it got the plot rolling into something else, something that we haven't been through yet. And I just loved where it went. And it was just that amazing. It was my favorite out of the 3. So that's why I gave it a 6 stars, and it got 2nd place. And that means number 1, my favorite book of 2024 so far is Jade City by Fonda Lee. Are we surprised? No, we are not. I knew I was going to love this. I didn't know I was going to love it that much. It is now one of my top fantasy series. I loved it. I devoured it. 6 stars, easy 6 stars. Cannot wait to continue the series. So far, it's gonna be this one. Moving on to question number 2. What is the best sequel you've read so far in 2024? I haven't read that many sequels. So for that one, I'm gonna pick The Girl from the Other Side, volume 3, because I did give it a 6 stars, sir. Question number 3, what new release you haven't read yet but want to? I have many, but I did go to the bookstore very recently and discovered that Vaishnavi Patel wrote another book and released another book in May, which was last month. If I'm not mistaken, it's called The Goddess of the River. I did not know they were coming up with a new book. I was actually surprised by seeing it on the shelves, and I need that book badly. I really, really want to buy that book. I'm gonna wait for the paperback version to come out because hardbacks are quite expensive. The prices have gone up. So I'll wait a bit, but I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I need this book. I loved KK so much. I know I just need to get my hands on this one. Question number 4, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of 2024? For that one, I want to say The Dead Cat Tales Assassin by P. Jelly Clark. I love this author. It's one of my favorite authors, and I just cannot wait to get to this one. It sounds so interesting, and the cover is top notch. So yeah, cannot wait for this one to get out. It is supposed to be out pretty soon though, so this summer, if I'm not mistaken. So question number 5, what is your biggest disappointment? So for this one, it's not necessarily my worst one. It's more for a book that I had expectations and the book didn't meet those expectations. And for that one, unfortunately, I'm going to say The Black Kids by Christina Hemmings Reid. It did not meet my expectations at all. It wasn't that bad of a book. I gave it a 2.5 stars, but I was really hoping for something more out of this book that I didn't get, unfortunately. Question number 6, which book was your biggest surprise? So I've talked about this one a little bit earlier, but They're There by Tommy Orange. I did not have any expectations at all. I've heard about it from, I think it was Books and Lala, and just picked it up for the buzzword prompt. And I was very surprised with how much I loved it and ended up giving it a 5 stars. And I was not expecting what happened in this book. So that was a good surprise. But I also want to mention At Night, All Blood is Black by David Diop. This one I picked up at the local bookstore because it was very, very cheap on sale for whatever reason. And I did not have any expectations. I haven't heard about this book when I picked it up. And I just picked it up because it was very short and thought it was going to be very easy to read. It was-ish. The content is quite rough to read, but other than that, it goes and flows so well, and I was not expecting to enjoy this book as much as I did. So that was also a very pleasant surprise. I gave this one a 4 stars. Question number 7, who is your new favorite author? So I usually try to read more than one book from an author before I declare them being one of my favorite authors. But if we're looking at authors I have never read from before and that I discovered and now enjoy, like from this first half of the year, I'm gonna go with Fonda Lee, obviously, because favorite book, so favorite author as well. I could also name Robin Hobb in there because I am really, really enjoying her books, but it's all in the same realm, universe. So I don't know if that really counts, but we'll go with those two. Question number 8, your newest fictional crush. So I don't usually have crush in books. I don't know, it's just not a thing for me. I like characters. I like a lot of characters. I loved the characters in Jade City. I love the characters from The Girl from the Other Side. Alice in Wonderland characters are amazing. Many characters in the Elder Rings, in the Robin Hobb universe as well. But I can't really say it's a fictional crush for me. So, question number 9, which is your newest favorite character? And that's such a hard one to answer because there's a lot of characters that I really, really love. And I'm not sure which one to pick. I think I'm gonna go with the little girl in The Girl from the Other Side books because she is so sweet and so naive and so hopeful and precious. I think that's a perfect word to describe that character. Also in Jade City, I loved Hilo a lot. One of the things that I don't like about these tags is that I'm always talking about the same books over and over again because first of all, I don't read that many books in 1 year. So far I only have 15 books to talk about and it gets a little bit redundant because out of those 15, I didn't enjoy all of them. So I feel like I keep repeating myself over and over again. But anyway, so I'm sorry. All right, question number 10. What book made you cry? I did not cry at any book. Unfortunately, this year, I haven't cried at all. I rarely cry in books. So it did happen twice, but not this year. Question number 11. What book made you happy? So I have a couple of those. So obviously my favorite books, The Girl from the Other Side makes me happy. The Jade City made me happy. But I also want to mention Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. It did make me very happy to read this. There's two things that I really love, and I kind of want to go back to that new favorite character question, but I love Alice's character because she is like typical ADHD child, and I love how she's portrayed and how she's just accepting who she is as she is. I love that. And it's with a girl nonetheless. So that's great. I really love that aspect. But I also really, really enjoy all of the word plays in here with words, like how the sentences are structured and to make more sense when you think about it, but at first it doesn't look like it makes sense. So yeah, it makes you question a lot of things, and I love how that is written. I feel it's very poetic at the same time, and yeah, that's one of my favorite aspects of this book, and it makes me happy to read these things. Question number 12. What is the most beautiful book you've bought or received so far? I already talked about how I love the drawings in the Girl from the Other Side, but I do want to mention The Empire of Gold. I love this cover so much. I love the UK covers a lot, but this green though, with the gold, is so pretty. I really, really love this green. So I'm gonna go with this one. Question number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I have a lot. So many books that I've started that I haven't finished yet. Series that I want to finish, that I do have the books for, that I do want to finish. I'm doing my read of all of the Robin Hobb books. So I plan to read one book a month. So far, I'm on book 3, and we're already halfway through the year. So you can see how many books I'm behind. I should have only like 4 books left by the end of the year to read in the elderly realm. Not there yet at all because they are huge books, but yeah. So those. So I'm on Assassin's Quest right now, so I need to catch up for Ship of Magic, Mad Ship, Ship of Destiny, then it's Fool's Errand, I think. The 3 Fools, and then I don't remember the other titles. Anyways, it's there somewhere on the screen. So yeah, by the time 2024 ends, I should only have 3 books left to read of the whole universe. I'm very behind. I don't need to tell you that. I also have many books that I've been trying to read for so long that I've been putting on my TBRs so many times, but just didn't get to it. So there's that. I'm currently reading A Promised Land, which I feel is going to be a very tough one to finish because it's a very chunky book and it's hard for me to get through like quickly. I also want to finish the Lord of the Rings trilogy reading that I've been doing. So right now I'm a third through the Two Towers. I would love to finish The Return of the King by the end of the year. I also want to complete my reread of The Diviners because I do have Lair of Dreams, which is book number 2 that I'm planning to read for Halloween. I also really want to finish a brief history of 7 Killings by Marlon James. I've been trying to read this one for so long. It's a very heavy content type of book. It's very raw and violent and not easy to go through. And I kind of put it aside for a while, but I really want to finish it by the end of the year. I do need to like pick it up here and there and read a tiny bit. Not every day, but every month. I haven't done it this month, but I'm gonna make it a priority for the second half for sure. Same thing with this one, The Dragon's Promise, which is book number 226, Crimson Cranes. So I've been trying to read this one. I started it, I was like 22 pages in. Didn't continue it because I had other priorities for readathons and stuff, but I do want to finish it like ASAP, because one of my goals for this year was to finish series, and by reading this one, I will have finished the duology. So I also have As Good as Dead, which is the third book of the trilogy, the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I do want to finish that one. And then I have He Who Drowned the World by Shelley Parker Chan, which is also a duology, the second book of the duology. So I just want to wrap that duology. I love the first book so much, so like I'm not too worried. I'm gonna get into the second one and devour it and love it. I'm also trying to finish books that are on my TBR card here that I've had on this card for so long, but didn't get to because I bought them like 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm going to try to have them on the list and roll a d20 and like pick one at random to read every month. So I'm going to try to do that for at least the rest of the year so far to make sure that I do read and pick up those books. One of those books is Fierce Like a Firestorm. It's book number 2 from Wicked Like a Wildfire. This one I have read, and this one is quite smaller. It's book number 2 of the duology. I just want to be finished and have closure with the duology because I did not like this one. Very disappointing. I didn't have much expectations, but I didn't like it. I think I gave it a 2-star. So I have very low expectations for this one, and I'm probably going to be donating them when I'm done with the whole set. But I do need to read the second one because I need that closure. I'm also thinking of rereading some books. I don't have time for that, but I'm thinking about it because there are some books that are sequels that I do want to read. I do have The Obelisk Gate and The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. So I might reread the 5th season in order to get to those two because I do want to have some closure into this universe. The 5th season was such an amazing book and a 6 stars. So I don't know why I'm waiting to read these, but yeah. And same for this one. I might reread the first 2 books before I get to this one. This is a very, very chunky book. It's 766 pages. I think I kind of want to return to like book 1 and 2 before I get to this one. I loved these books so much. 6 stars as well. Cannot wait to get to it, but I think I want to like reread the full trilogy to have a better reading experience, I guess. I don't know, but we'll see if I do that, but I definitely want to finish the trilogy. I think that's it. Honestly, that's a lot of books to finish by the end of the year. I am planning on a big reading summer. I'm going to be focusing my summer on, yes, my family, as well as my business and reading and my channel and stuff like that. So I'm quite happy with how the first half went. I am like 10 books behind my Goodreads challenge, but I know I've been going through a lot. Personally and with my personal life, with my husband, mental health issues, with my son as well. There's a lot that has been going on and it's a lot to deal with and I cannot do everything. It's impossible. I'm just happy that I'm still reading actually, even though I'm going through all that stuff. So I'm kind of celebrating that part because we do tend to see like what we didn't get to do and focus on that instead of focusing on what you actually managed to achieve. So yeah, I read 15 books that I mostly enjoyed for the most part. So I'm happy with that. Let's hope for another good half of the year for the 6 next months to come. Let me know how your reading month has been so far. I would love to know. If you've done a mid-year freakout tag, you can link it in the comments and I would love to go and check that out. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you wish. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and I will see you soon in the next one. Bye!